Welcome to Little Bits of Awesome, the podcast.
The podcast. There is no others, and there will be no more.
Never.
It is the only one.
The end of time.
Amen.
Period. Amen.
Word-
Capitalized
word
letters.
on the street.
Yeah.
Best podcast ever recorded.
Ever.
Ooh, word on the street. We take polls.
Yep.
Okay, let me tell you something. I have such big dreams for what we're going to do in the future with all of you people who have your AirPods, your earbuds, your headphones, your speakers playing loud. Who are
I'd be curious to
listening.
know, like, when do people listen? Is it in the car for the most part? Is it during their workout for the most part? Is it doing housework for the most part? What
For
is
the
it
most
for
part.
the most part?
If you could give us a hint of,
Yeah.
for the
Let
most
us
part,
know for the most part
where
when you
are
listen
you
to
listening?
us.
But I want to do something really fun with all the people who are listening for the most part. And I just think, as the world is opening up and as the podcast is growing, I want to see these people in real life. So I got big plans, big goals, and I usually really like my wild ideas and just kind of bring people on.
And sometimes they actually happen.
I've had people personally message me asking when that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Right?
Word
a
on
little
the
bits
street.
of awesome live.
Yeah.
Can you even wrap your brain around that?
Think of it.
And everybody is just
Moment of silence.
Picture it. Everybody is showered in merch.
Yeah.
We are all
Head to
matching.
toe awesome.
We are twinning like the Dickens.
Yep.
Can we get a t-shirt cannon?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. And people go running in the fields to catch the
just
merch.
Like when they're there.
Yeah, you
at
shoot
the
it.
live and we just shoot it in the crowd.
Would that be so fun?
You
You ever
get a
used
shirt.
one of those?
You get a shirt.
I haven't, but I mean that's a bucket list of mine. If we're talking bucket lists.
Yeah.
You want a cannon thing? You
Just
want
to
one?
use one.
Can
I'd
I-
like to own it.
Can I
Chuck
one
things?
up your canon request and talk about a blimp?
Oh.
Ooh.
And a shirt dropping blimp.
Oh
We were
my
at the
gosh.
jazz game, and the blimp was going around.
Yes.
I think it was the homie blimp or something.
Oh, I like that.
Not that they're a sponsor. or
Yeah,
anything, but
No.
Edit that out immediately.
it dropped like some $1 bills,
Oh.
and my kids were like dialed in.
Oh,
this thing.
yes,
didn't
I
even
will
know it was
get
As
happening.
buck.
Emily and I would be.
Oh, yeah,
and it
give
was
me a
just like,
buck.
it got close, and it was like, oh, it's time to drop.
Yeah.
And boom, it drops like a stack of ones, and they just start floating down. And like in my younger days, I
Yeah.
probably would have been a little more aggressive.
Yo, you would have been
'Cause I was
flying
I
over
was like
people's heads.
one person over and like 1.5 rows away.
Okay,
and,
one
like,
person over and one
so
and a
it's
half rows
like-
away. Okay.
You know, we're talking like a 7 to 8 feet.
Yeah.
reach, And it's like I didn't have it in me to like
Yeah.
really go for that $1 bill, but my kids were like, "Dad,
What a
You could have got it,
disappointment.
Dad. If it was $100 bills, you might have. You might have gone
He
the
didn't
extra
know.
mile. Oh, you didn't know what the
You
bills
didn't know
were?
what the bills were.
you could tell."
You could. He knows
they
a $1
float
bill from a
differently?
mile away. Different
We're
weight.
not gonna drop $100.
You didn't know that.
You're right.
You didn't know that.
Oh my gosh.
What if it was just a bill? You want to know
I
something?
love that idea of just money falling from the sky.
Right?
I want to get
Brian's
in
mom,
on that.
I kid you not. I'll go on walks with Brian's mom. The woman always finds money.
You're kidding.
I'm not joking you.
Just a quarter
what
here or
is
there.
that? Oh, it's a $20 bill.
No.
I'm not joking you. She
It's like my dream.
in like this 1 week time, I think that she found two $20 bills. She'll have to correct me on this, but it was enough to really make an impact. I thought, I'm sticking next to this woman.
Oh my gosh.
She's going
yeah.
places.
She
You
attracts
guys want
bills.
A Pidge story from back in the day.
Please.
Yes.
Okay. If
First.
the fans are ready.
Oh, they're ready.
While they're sitting down,
Yeah.
we're going to introduce ourselves.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh boy.
and you are gonna you can't wait for this story.
No, she
so
can't.
come back.
Yeah, we have to.
Straight
Fast
ahead.
forward 10 seconds.
To my left, straight ahead, is my
Mhm.
sister.
Mhm.
With, that's natural curly hair, folks. Yep, we're from the same father, folks.
True.
That is my sister. She's older, but she don't look like it. She's
oh
wiser.
my gosh.
Emily Ingeman.
I love you.
That's
what
right.
a great intro, you know? Do you think about this before we come in?
I am witty on the spot.
You are. She has a gift with that for sure.
Not like stand-up comedy gift.
No.
Mm-mm.
Leave
Just
that to me.
short-term
I am the
wit.
stand-up comic. Miss
Comet.
Cat Comic. I do. I was moving on to your introduction. I got so excited. Cass Martin. Everybody knows her. Everybody loves her. She is beautiful from the inside out. It glows, it shines, it radiates.
It glows, it flows.
She's funny, she's witty. And what was that what we were saying? You're witty. That was the thing we were saying a minute ago, right?
Sure.
No, were you
Yeah.
thinking it?
No. We were saying because all those things you come up with the introduction with me, weren't you saying you're witty? I think that's what you said, right?
It's hard
because
to
I
know.
wanted to give you another compliment that was additional to the one that we said earlier, but I'm gonna stick with witty.
It's like I don't know if she's
Pigeon's
talking.
eyes are just completely like, what
I
just
am
happened? There was a short
confused.
circuiting because I wanted something other than witty, but I had nothing else.
I'm just
Gritty.
wondering
Gritty. Well, she's
If-
gritty, that's for sure.
if she's talking. I don't know what you're referring
Listen, when
to.
you,
like
I said, do you,
introduction
yeah,
or
when
like
you,
earlier, like today.
no. When I said,
this
do you
week?
prepare your introduction to
Oh,
me?
yeah,
You say,
no.
no, I'm witty like that.
I'm witty.
And that's what I was saying. I was like, did you already talk about that? I hate you. We're moving on.
I
Edit
know.
that.
And then to my right, straight ahead,
Yep.
is
No
the
camera.
No camera.
no camera.
There isn't one on.
Ever.
People
That's why it's a
actually-
mystery. People always are like, I want to know what he looks
yes.
like.
So let me tell you something. Our brother and sister.
Yeah.
It's the one and only Pidge, everybody.
Mhm.
But our brother
And
and
the crowd
sister,
goes wild. Yeah.
yeah, you know where that button is.
Yeah. He
Okay,
does.
so our brother
Mhm.
and sister-in-law walk
Mhm.
into dinner on Saturday.
Mhm.
We're eating delicious food.
Hot.
It is hot in here.
So hot.
And my brother says, "Yeah, I was just listening to your guys' podcast."
Is that his voice?
That's
Yeah.
how
Okay.
she always talks when
It's
she's in
Very spot
mimicking
on.
him. Yeah. It is pretty spot on.
It's just kind of rough. It's sort of slurred. You got to kind of watch and be like,
very slurred.
you have
Yeah,
to
but it's just
really
kind of
dial
abrupt and it's just very masculine and
Got
just
it.
like, you know.
It's kind of like, I'm going to throw you down, like, pay attention or you're out of here.
Yeah, it's like, I got something to say, listen up.
I ain't got time for this crap.
Mhm.
So he's like, we want to know what Pigeon looks like.
Yeah.
That's
And I said,
his-
well, whoa, wait. You tell us. And so we played this game with them describing the pigeon in their head.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
isn't that fun?
Was he so handsome?
Oh,
Very
he was. He
handsome.
was.
Mhm.
So
Tall, I bet. Super tall.
something
Totally.
that they were off on is he was thinking you were more of a flannel dude.
Mm. But what they were on is they knew that he was a fashion guy. They
Yes.
pictured you like well groomed,
Yes.
crisp.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
And, like fashion, like fashion forward type
You're
of guy.
not dirty. You're not sloppy.
Nope.
I like to be clean.
Yes.
Mhm.
And it's
Mhm.
very, it's pristine.
Mhm.
And they could sense that.
They knew that. They knew that. But they
Wow.
were thinking, they were going with like a flannel shirt. I don't know why.
And then he also was very
Don't even
surprised.
own one.
Yeah, even for the hunting.
You don't hunt in flannel.
You
I guess that's
should.
true. It's camo. Just
I
figure
think
like
you
if you're
might-
going to the mountains, you got to put on a flannel shirt.
Totally.
Everybody knows that.
That's
Chop a
when we
tree
go.
down.
When
Well,
we
yeah,
go-
for lumberjacks.
Oh, yeah. We got that
Where did that even
confused.
start?
yeah, you're right.
Where did that
When
even
we go
start?
chopping down trees.
Yeah.
You
I just
assume
figure-
you're also hunting and
Yes.
fishing.
Yes, and fishing guys wear plaid, right, with their rubber overalls over it.
Sure.
Think about it.
Or
I-
solid. Or
Maybe a solid, but it's kind of just like a woodsy type of guy that goes out and hunts. But camo, if you're going for a big beast, you got to have the camo, on,
Yeah.
similar to what
we
you're
have a
wearing
guy
today.
in the office that calls me the ultimate hybrid because I like to be out in the woods and fish and hunt and all that, but I'm like a city slicker.
Yeah, isn't
Yeah.
that so true?
How uncomfortable are you on a scale of 1 to 10
Of
from
heat?
when you go hunting
Oh,
and you're dirty because you
Ooh.
don't like dirt?
How do you know that?
yeah.
I can sense that.
You
How
don't even have a
fast-
fingerprint on your phone.
How fast are you running to get into pristine condition again?
Yeah.
When I'm like in the moment, being dirty's okay.
You're
You
being
embrace
present.
it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm like okay being dirty when it's like time to be dirty.
Mm-hmm.
We like got this new razor this last couple months, and I was taking my nephew for a ride. Maybe
Oh, yeah, I
took
think
him
you
for a
did.
ride,
Mhm.
And we just like it was so muddy and sloppy and gross, and I was just like, well, you gotta do what you gotta do.
You do.
You gotta make the nephew proud.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
you
So
do.
I was like, I don't want him to think I'm not a cool uncle.
Don't
Of
be a
course.
wuss.
You know
Obviously
how to get
the
dirty.
coolest. And
Yes.
so we go, and it's just slop city, and I get back, and my wife's like, "Oh, good for you. You got dirty."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And are you like,
We knew it.
how fast can I get to a quick quack?
Oh,
With
you
your
clean
car?
that car. Yeah, everything gets cleansed before you pull in.
No, because it was like raining and gross.
Oh, okay.
But there was a good clean sesh.
Mm-hmm.
Do you
My kids got involved,
you own a pressure washer?
of course.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So does Brian.
So they knew that he had facial hair. They were guessing facial hair.
Yes, they did not expect the.
Don't they follow your Instagram?
Oh, this is I also
No, they're
He
not
doesn't
good
know how to.
social.
He doesn't
No,
even know how
that's
to turn his phone
several
on
steps too far for him.
half the time. So
Mhm.
he was surprised at how dark your hair and beard were. And he said,
Mhm.
"Where's you from? What's his nationality?"
Mhm.
I was like,
I don't know why.
Tell us.
Cass got dark hair.
Yeah, and the brown eyes. Like
I
he
think
was
it's
just
the
like,
brown eyes that
Mhm.
really bring it in.
What is the nationality?
It's like German and Norwegian and
Mm.
like something. So
Well, that makes
Nothing
zero
like
sense.
Italian in there.
I don't know. So my mom did
Do
like
that genealogy,
23andMe
please.
and did the genealogy,
Yeah.
and I just stopped listening at one point.
Well, it gave you all the bronze, dark, beautiful features.
I'm a winter
so.
skin tone. Red looks good on me. So if you guys are
A
sending me
winter
gifts,
skin tone.
Yeah.
What am I?
I don't know. I only knew what I am.
I've never
No.
known
Selfish.
like a seasonal skin tone. I've never heard of that.
I prefer gem tones on myself.
Yes, you do. Mm-hmm.
Okay, you ready for my story?
Yes, take us back in time,
yes.
Pidge.
Yep.
Okay.
What were we? Believe
we
it
were
or
talking
not,
about money drops.
There
and
we
this was
go.
a you thing.
I know.
I
Thank you.
told an Emily.
you did. Thank you for bringing us back.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, I lived in Spokane, Washington. If you don't know the place, it's on the Idaho border in Washington State.
Perfect.
I worked at a Chevron gas station.
I
Mm.
didn't know this.
You're going to not know any of these stories. This is great.
Which I
Yes.
think is one of the coolest jobs. I keep telling my family, like in another life,
I've heard her say this.
I think it would be very fun to work at a gas station.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Very
I was-
social.
So, technically, I worked on the food section. They had a Blimpie in there. And they had,
Blimpy.
one of those little,
Oh
pizza
my
ovens and
gosh.
stuff.
Yes.
And so I'd get there early and have to like prepare all of like the food and like the tomatoes and all that jazz. And
Were you
Lots of this
good slicer?
Oh, yeah.
slicing the meat,
Yeah.
slicing the.
crap out of some tomatoes. They had a machine that made it easy. But
Yes, they do.
I was only 18, so I technically wasn't supposed to work where you could like sell tobacco and alcohol, but like you always covered the till.
That
you
you probably could get a beard real early on in life, so they believed you were older.
I was a pretty late bloomer on the
You're
beard.
kidding. That's shocking. I could
But
see you.
This
growing
is
it
derailed
early.
my story, so I'm
I'm
going to
so
get back
sorry.
to it.
Get
Yep.
back to it.
During prep time, I would listen to a radio station, 93 Zoo FM. It was actually 92.9. I don't know why they call it 93.
92.9.
But it was kind of like the today's hit radio
Yes,
station.
yes.
And they had these guys, Dave and Ken, in the morning. If you're from Spokane, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And shout out to you 509ers. So, Dave and Ken in the morning, and they had these call-ins where you could like win
Oh yeah.
like win Dave's money or do this and all
Yeah,
this. And
yeah.
I was like, I gotta try these. So, like for a full month, like
You're on the
every
clock?
morning on the clock.
Yeah.
And my boss knew what was going on.
Yeah.
She was cool with it.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Of course.
Obviously.
Of course.
So I dial up the 93 Zoo FM number and I get on like their radio show. And I
Thrilling. When you're placed
Oh.
on hold, when
Oh.
you get an answer
Oh.
and then you're placed on hold, you're just like,
Oh my gosh. Okay, you're on hold.
yeah, and so I can't remember exactly what it was. I think it was like trying to win like Aerosmith tickets.
Oh.
And like the only Aerosmith song I knew was like the Run DMC remix version of like Walk
Oh.
This Way.
Yes.
And so like it got to me and they were like, "Cool, to get these tickets you got to like sing an Aerosmith song." And I was like, I know the Run DMC parts.
Yeah,
And so I
yeah.
like did that and they were like, "Cool, doesn't count. But as a backup, we're going to give you tickets to the Indians game, which is like their like Division 3 baseball team."
can I
Okay.
press pause?
Okay.
You knew
Ah, the
this was an
momentum.
Aerosmith thing.
Yeah, you might have.
You'd been
should have
listening
prepped.
for a month, and you didn't
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
also
whoa,
like.
whoa.
All
It
questions
was
are
a
different.
different thing each day.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, that's
okay.
what I'm wondering.
Okay.
You're going to
okay.
try
About to
every
say
time.
Yeah.
that was very.
He couldn't
poor.
have prepared himself for the Aerosmith question.
No, it was just
Okay.
like hey, like I'm in hold. I'm like the next caller in line.
Oh,
Mhm.
and
I'm
so
for sure going to win. You got that vibe going. Your adrenaline's pumping.
Oh my gosh.
You're
Yeah.
you're telling the people that are trying to buy smokes and
You gotta
Everybody
hold
I
hold
gotta
up.
hold on. I'm on 93 Zoo FM, and they're like, "Oh hell yeah, I'll go turn on
Yeah.
the radio."
Oh my gosh.
All this happens. I don't qualify for the tickets.
Ugh.
It's fine. Consolation prize. I get to go to this Indians game, and during the 7th inning stretch, we're gonna do the money drop.
No.
And I'm like, okay, explain the money drop. They take a helicopter and they fly it over the baseball field, and they just drop like
Money.
hundreds and hundreds of $1 bills
What?
into the outfield. And the qualifiers from the radio show get to chase out there and stuff as many ones in their shirt as possible before they're all gone. And the helicopter's like spinning the air around, so it's like
It's going wild. Yeah.
It's impossible.
Oh my gosh.
Fun side story. The next day, I qualify again. Yeah. 2 in
Yeah.
a row.
Wow.
like-
You answered another question.
So what do I say my
Correcto?
name is? Kenneth Osmus, my dad's name.
Yes.
So
Oh.
now my dad qualifies. We both go to the Indians game, and during the 7th inning stretch, we're out there chasing down ones.
Stop.
This is the best story forever and ever.
Is it
So good.
videotaped somewhere?
I don't know.
How
This
much
is-
money did you
this is
get?
like 2001. Like there wasn't cell
Yeah,
phones.
think
or,
of just the chaos and the
I got-
frantic search and
I got
grabbing.
around $200
Wow.
in ones, and my dad got like a little over 100 in ones.
Oh my
And
gosh.
also funny side
Yeah.
story, we get back to like the outfield or whatever, like third baseline where we were sitting, and my dad's like, I don't feel good, and he just starts puking.
Oh my gosh. After he had
Oh, yeah.
sprinted all over
After
the
just,
outfield.
like, running like so hard.
Oh my gosh.
So-
How many were you out there chasing the Bills down?
Oh, there's probably like 30 of us or so.
Really?
That's so
And
fun.
Was it like you were all in, you weren't even looking
Oh,
sideways, you were
it
just
was just
chasing
like-
this just
Chase those bucks.
It reminds me
Wow,
of
that is so awesome. Diving and everything, just
Oh yeah, you're
Just
money was
trying to
getting pinned up
scoop.
against the home run wall.
you got
and
your
you're just-
shirt tucked in.
was
you're
it
trying
in
to put it
underwear,
down your-
armpits? What were you wearing to secure down the bills?
I did a t-shirt tuck.
Yep.
And then I was
Okay.
just going straight down the.
Yeah.
straight down
Oh,
the
it was
neck.
all one. Boom.
Oh yeah.
Fill it up like a
I'll
bag.
Never
That is
forget
awesome.
one of Bridget's birthday parties. We took her to Chuck E. Cheese,
Oh,
and you
yeah.
get for the birthday party, you get to go in this tube
Yeah.
of mayhem, and they're blowing ones everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And her face was so stressed out. She just like frantically, and she was so disappointed.
And there's
she
a
was
lot of
so
wind
frustrated.
happening.
Oh yeah,
So much
it's just-
wind. Yeah.
and those bills are going everywhere. And I just couldn't stop laughing. I was just
Ugh.
looking at her crumbling 1 second at a time
Ugh.
as the bills were being missed, and she's grabbing
Oh.
and missing and grabbing and missing.
Did she come out with
left and right.
anything?
Oh, very, very little.
Oh my gosh,
But-
that's so funny.
But she has redeemed herself because we just celebrated Easter.
Mm-hmm.
And in our home, the way that the Easter Bunny likes to deliver at the Martin home
Mhm.
is that there are candy eggs, there are rotten eggs,
Ooh,
mm-hmm.
What are in those?
and there are money eggs.
just bottled toots.
Yeah.
So,
oh my gosh. Remember
yes.
the
Stink bombs.
stink bombs that people would
Oh yeah, like little
Stink
sulfur
bombs were the
tablets.
that they would do
worst.
it at schools, and someone would put off a stink bomb, and
Do those
everyone had
still
to clear.
exist?
I haven't heard of that in years, but that was a thing, and they were horrible.
Well, actually, I've been doing a very
natural stink bombs.
I have a natural stink bomb. If you guys would like me to try it.
Not in the podcast.
No,
Yes.
please not.
So I
Stink
was
bombs, but what
watching-
is that for you?
well,
And
I
stink
was
eggs. I'm sorry.
I was watching this show that I've been binge watching. It's called Get Organized, the Home Edit on Netflix. It's fascinating, and they were organizing this prankster's house,
Yeah,
and
bless you.
somebody accidentally unleashed a stink bomb while they were organizing,
You're
and they were all
kidding.
like ready to barf. It was hilarious.
Oh,
So for us,
rotten egg.
the rotten eggs are like beans or rice. Like
Okay, gotcha.
it
They're
sounds
not
like candy, but
something
it's
you
not.
can eat. Okay.
So
Is
Bridget,
there money eggs?
and there's
Yeah.
money eggs.
So money, candy, rotten.
Love it.
So the
Yeah.
kids, it gets the teenagers engaged.
Sure.
And there's usually a golden egg that has a good, good hefty
Mm.
bill. That's not, listen, we're not going crazy here.
No, no, no.
But
$5
We're
Bridget
here.
talking
there.
a 5 spot.
Exactly.
Bridget
$5 here and there.
always just owns that. And they kind of have the
You
same
mean like
amount
she
of eggs.
scores?
Yeah.
Yeah.
but hers are always the ones that are loaded with money. It's crazy.
She's got the Linda Martin
She's got
money
the
magnet
Linda Martin
gene.
touch.
Yeah.
From the second, Chuck E. Cheese went rogue, she's like, I've got to redeem myself every Easter. This is how I do it.
Yep. That's interesting. I was noticing on your story, your kids were collecting these eggs.
It's very painful for me to watch that.
Okay,
just
well,
so
hold
you
on.
know.
With Walmart bags.
Yes.
And so I was thinking, I am the sister watching her Instagram story
It looks
with kids
very
gathering eggs in Walmart bags. And it took me back, and I just thought, wait a second, I'm so confused. Like, did the Easter Bunny or did Cass, like, did the baskets were they not found this year or what? But then later on, I realized that your kids search for their baskets. The Easter Bunny hides their baskets, so they search for the eggs as they're searching for their basket.
Okay. There's
this
certain.
Is like inside and outside, or
it depends on the year.
Anywhere on the property.
Yeah,
it depends on the year. We do
neighbor's house.
There have been times where we've been in Arizona. The kids are scaling the fences, going up on rooftops. Like it's very intense.
Depends on how ambitious the Easter Bunny is year to year.
And I will say every year, it takes them about an hour to find the basket.
Yeah, wow.
Usually they will find each other's, which is odd. But so it is. I will say I don't like the.
When they find the other persons, do they let them know, or are they like?
Oh yeah, they should just.
They won't let them know because then they're like, oh, I know where you were going and collecting eggs.
Yes.
So that is kind of like there's certain traditions that
we have. A Martin thing.
It was a Martin one, and they also say I spy. So when they see an egg, they have to say I spy, I spy, I spy.
Every time an egg.
I spy, I spy. It's just like all morning.
You're
and they're
kidding.
collecting in those Walmart sacks, which is it is very painful for me to watch.
I just was so happy to know in the next frame I learned that they were looking for their baskets. I just thought, wow, like this is rough here.
I saw a meme where it was just like a dude and it had a caption. It was like, all dads on Easter. And then the quote was, I can see 3 from where I'm standing.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
so true.
Every dad
so
it is
true.
So true.
So true. Oh my gosh. Watching them pass and pass and pass.
Either of the girls at Walgreens stiffed me a couple bucks, or there's another egg to be found.
Ooh,
yeah,
because
you
so you came up short in the total amount.
Yeah, but it was a weird thing. I didn't want to count the money in front of the girls who just handed it to me.
Oh, I know, that's awkward.
I felt,
especially when it's like a bunch of ones and things.
And like you're in high school or you're in college. I'm not gonna double count your work.
Yeah, I know that. Unless it's like we're talking $100 bills. I pick those up all the time, just loads of them, and I've got to count them.
Yeah, when you've just got stacks of hundos, and you're like, oh, I just need to make sure you had all 300.
Exactly. Now that's when it's worth your time. But if we're just talking about a few stacks of ones, then we're okay. Yeah?
Yeah, read it.
I know. Austria.
Don't you find that odd?
I find it very odd. Cass is getting a call from Austria right now.
Right now.
Live on the
Just put another shrimp
podcast.
There we go.
Okay, so anyway.
She doesn't know
I did because I know I'm a little confused. I thought that was an Australian thing.
That's what makes it funny.
But was it a movie reference?
It was.
Well, listen, I got the joke, but since I didn't know the exact reference, I moved on. I moved right along. What movie is it?
Dumb and Dumber.
Really? You guys have that movie memorized?
I just love when there's just a reference and we both look at each other like, yep, she missed it.
Why do you guys know movie references? Like, get a life.
Get a life, losers.
That's something I've never been able to do. I do not have movie quotes memorized. Our brothers are famous for it.
We do song ones all the time, too, that you miss.
I know. I'm telling you. I'm not. You know what? Do you need to be slapped today?
I've already been slapped.
Have you? Oh, wow. We thought,
can I see the back of this sweatshirt?
Yes. It's
Guys.
so cute.
Like,
take it in. Like, those colors come alive. What we are talking about, guys, we're talking about our new sweatshirts that are about to drop that are so cute. And they've been highly requested, but we added a twist.
Yes.
So there was a certain element about the sweatshirt that was highly requested. But then we thought,
and they're coming your way.
Yeah, they're coming your way. But then we didn't want to just go with the one request. We wanted to spice it up a little bit and make it something new and fresh, yet highly requested. So anyway, moving right along. So that was, well, that's awesome. I want
Yeah.
to just talk about Easter a little bit. And that's always fun. And I to do my Easter traditions just basically how we grew up doing, which you have taken some, but twisted it a little bit with a Martin twist.
I did.
So we don't. There's nothing to. There's no hiding in the baskets at our house, but we do the Easter Bunny leaves the candy trail.
I love that so
that goes to the
much.
basket, which was just what we did. There was just a candy trail that led to your basket. Then you've got your stuff there, and
there
then
were two things that stopped that tradition for us because I wanted to do
dogs.
That. Dogs,
Oh,
number one.
It's very nerve wracking.
And then also Brian's like, we hide the baskets.
Yeah.
And I thought, that's actually a fun thing. I'll let you win.
That's fun. And then when we were young, there were not eggs, just little clusters of candy was hidden all over the house.
Yep.
So in the pillows, up on the picture frames, everywhere. And we would find them
months
for a year.
Later. It was
for
so
a year.
Great.
It was so classic to be like, move a pillow and like weeks later, months later, and you'd find a little pile of candy.
And you eat it like it's just a gift from God.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, we didn't care.
I've
it was
given
3
you
months
Skittles.
old. Yeah.
Enjoy, child.
But us too with the dog, everything's in eggs now just because of the fear of the dog getting to the candy. But the one trail that goes to the baskets still remains, but the dog is on complete lockdown until everyone is awake and is safe to come out.
And his life has been threatened.
Yeah, that's right. And then the Easter Bunny hides eggs just all over the yard outside. It's an outside thing unless the weather is rough.
Yep. I think this year we didn't do outside because our lawn had just been aerated and there was just lots of things going on. I think that Bridget actually wasn't confident with her poop picking up.
That'll ruin Easter morning too.
She thought, let's just keep it inside.
That would ruin Easter morning with a lot of poop trailing back into the house.
What's great is that every family has the opportunity to give the Easter Bunny the rules.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Santa Claus. Like, you get to have that conversation with Santa Claus and say, these are the rules of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Do it like we want to do it, and that's what's amazing about the Easter Bunny.
Or never show up here.
That's right.
Do it our way, or
do it our way, or don't ever give me
Paige,
gifts.
how does Easter look at your house?
Well, we do our cakes.
That's so cute.
Tradition.
So were they carrot cake? Carrot cakes?
Yeah, so you do like a circle carrot cake.
Mm-hmm. Homemade?
My wife made them, yeah.
How cute. That's homemade.
I mean,
well, does it come from a box? Okay,
that's fine, but I mean, you didn't buy it at the store.
We baked it at our house.
Yes, homemade.
And when I say we, it was for sure her.
Yeah.
And then you take a circle, cut it in half.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have two halves, and you put those together, and now you got like a little
hump,
bunny rabbit hump.
Mm-hmm.
Frost it, coconut it, snowball it. That's the tail. Little snowball.
Mm-hmm. That's really cute.
Make some ears.
Yeah, are the ears made of
paper?
Okay,
Not
paper
edible.
ears, not edible ears. Okay.
I'll challenge you next year to do an edible ear.
You know what? I know what to do. I've already got it. You get
marshmallows.
No. You get an airhead, the white airhead. Shape it in the ears, and then you get a pink airhead, and you layer it.
It's a double white to a one pink ratio.
Yeah. Anyway, just ideas for next year. If you want edible ears.
I think it should be
edible. So anyway,
edible.
paper ears, and then like a jelly bean nose type of thing. How cute.
Should we start doing that
That's
next year?
That's adorable. Yeah.
I was feeling kind of like we need to have something that we do together.
We did one year we decorated like little egg cupcakes. Remember?
That's true. That's true.
Did,
but we never dye eggs. I don't dye eggs.
Oh, we do.
This was like I think my mom or my grandma, it's been
from your mom's side.
So like your siblings, like everybody does the little bunnies.
Yeah,
it's really cute.
Send pics to my mom, and then she Facebooks it, and it's a whole thing.
Everybody sends the pics of the bunnies to grandma.
And
that's
does she
adorable.
Scrapbook it?
Or
Facebook
is
it.
the digital scrapbook.
Hello.
For the grandmas out there.
Hello.
For some reason, I picture your mom being a scrapbooker.
I mean, back when like crafts. Were
Yeah, she was
physical,
doing that. Yeah.
She used to own a craft store when I was a kid.
There you go.
Really?
I could sense that about her.
Lacing things.
Wow.
That's kind of naughty sounding.
Wow, lace.
No wonder.
Lacing things was her store in Littleton, Colorado. Not very like confused with other things.
Yeah. No.
Her mom, my grandma, Jay, rest in
Okay.
peace, lived in Las Vegas, and her craft store was called the Lacy Lady.
You
Oh,
are
you're kidding me.
So they have a thing with lace.
And that definitely
Of
got
lace.
confused.
That definitely got confused.
The
Yes.
customers walked in and they're like,
Listen, both of them could lead you. They took you right there. Even the
That's
mom's
what I'm
title.
saying.
Yeah,
Oh,
anytime you
yeah.
heard lace, you think
Oh, yeah.
risque.
Especially in the 90s.
Oh, yeah. Wowzer.
what?
Okay.
You guys are learning so much about Pidge today.
Yeah.
I mean,
Is this a
seriously,
Pidge
it
history
is.
I'm
talk?
just curious as to like scrapbooking.
Mm-hmm.
Was their style like lace trim? You know, like the border, lots of.
We just want to know where the
borders?
lace came in. Is it a
Well, no,
nickname?
they had a fabric store.
Okay.
Like they sold fabric
Yeah.
And lots of
and
lace.
like patterns and then like laces.
Yeah.
Part of like ribbons and
Yeah,
laces.
Yeah.
yeah. Oh,
Not
cute.
like negligee. You
No,
guys got
no.
dirty minds.
No,
These
no.
are just like normal blankies that have like lace trims.
Oh,
Oh,
cute.
yeah.
Blankies. Blankies are a thing for us, for sure.
Oh.
Okay, back to
yeah.
Easter. We do colored eggs.
Yeah.
And this year, I tried a new technique only because I didn't think I had the original little pellets, that you drop into the vinegar. I just didn't think I had all the things. Oh, no, it worked out beautifully.
Really?
Oh, it was a
It-
home run.
I thought it looked very odd.
Really, Walmart bag
That's what
Easter
I'm
bunny?
saying. We were silently judging each other. We had
Oh, yeah.
zero idea.
So listen, what you do is you just get a bag of rice. You put
Oh,
rice
lady.
in little bowls, and
Oh,
then
I
you just
saw
food
that.
color it. Yeah. Easy peasy, roll the egg in it.
Seemed messy.
It's probably
did.
messier than the typical, but you know how messy those little liquid stuff
And
is.
you didn't
too.
get to also have the blessing of smelling vinegar.
Oh, yeah, but that's just a cleansing thing.
Yeah.
When
We
you smell
didn't-
vinegar, you
we
think
didn't do
cleansing.
eggs this year.
You didn't?
We don't do
No.
them.
We always do, because I
planning
love
on it.
hard-boiled eggs. And egg sandwiches and stuff, gotta have
We
them.
did a hard-boiled egg because we were gonna do like the deviled eggs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Love
dinner.
deviled eggs.
And we're sitting there like, Sunday morning. Oh, we need to crack all these eggs. So I
Yeah.
super husband.
Yeah,
decide
you
to,
are.
crack some eggs with her. Something happened to these eggs on the hard-boiled process where the shell did not want to release from the
Oh.
egg.
Oh, yeah.
And
Sometimes they're just
we
like
just
that.
butchered the crap.
Oh,
out of
you're
these
taking half
eggs.
the white off
Oh,
with
yeah.
every little, what are they?
What
Shell.
was that?
Yeah.
Shell.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what you meant to say.
shell. Drug
Um,
that out. Shell.
Yeah. Anyway,
I
very
think-
rarely do we fail in the kitchen,
And you failed.
That one was rough.
I think the idea is you add a little something to the water, right? That helps but I'm sure you've done this a million times, but there is, and it might be vinegar that you add a little bit to the boiling water that helps that separation better.
Mom got me a contraption.
Oh, I have that contraption too.
Okay, yeah. For some reason I forget how to boil eggs. That's what my cooking level
Do you
is.
usually start with water, or what do you start with?
I just don't know, like, how long am I boiling them?
It's
That's a
so
good
easy.
question.
How long do I cool
I think it's
them?
12.
12 what?
12 minutes.
On what?
But this is what you do. You fill the bucket and you put the eggs in and you turn the thing up and
That's how
they
you kill a
stay
frog.
in. Really?
Yeah,
So
it
they
is.
stay in until till it's boiling. Then you turn. Is it another quote? It's
just
how
a
you
fact
kill a
of life,
frog.
yeah.
It's like how do you boil
It's just-
a frog?
You don't put them in hot water.
I don't care.
All right. It's just like a
Why?
saying. It's like an
It's
old
just-
wives'
Why?
tale saying.
Why?
Because
I know.
people, they use that analogy of
Yeah.
all of life. Like, you
Mhm.
don't
You don't just
jump right in. You got to
Yeah.
turn it up
To the
slowly.
boiling
It's like
water.
how you boil
Gotcha.
a frog.
And they use a frog as the example.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know the history behind the saying.
It must be because frogs are very much in the boiling business because they are the ones always in the dissecting and biology.
No. The reason why frog is the one is because frogs enjoy being in water.
Yeah.
But so you don't want to, if they feel it's hot, they're going to hop right out. So just give them a little bath, and then eventually they will have lost oxygen. Anyway,
Eventually.
so the boiling eggs, you just start with the regular water, turn the thing up, keep the eggs in there until they boil. Then you turn it off, and then they stay in there for another few minutes until they finish the process.
That's not what you'll find on the Google Gods. Because
That's a
there's
lie.
like all
Pidge,
kind of
look it
things
up.
where
I'm
you'll
looking
put
up the frog boiling So
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
where you put like ice into it and you give them an ice bath.
That's next level. You don't have to do that.
So I wanted deviled eggs, and we were talking about it. And
Yeah,
we
we
were
were.
going to assign Ryan. We've got to get to our
We
topic,
do.
folks.
Goodness
But it's been
gracious.
great.
Anyway, we
we are
didn't do.
35 minutes deep and we haven't gone.
Oh my
anywhere.
gosh, we didn't do deviled eggs because Ryan just says they take so much work and they are devoured in seconds.
So what
So
if
we skipped it this
could
year.
do some sort of deviled egg casserole? I've got it all envisioned. You take all the yolks.
Yep.
You make the puree.
Yep.
And then you do sort of like a,
Just over the top of a bunch
and then
of white,
you just kind of take a scoop.
white shells of what do they call
Yes.
it? The egg
Protein.
white. The egg white.
Mhm.
Okay. Anyway, another day. Look up the frog thing, but we want to know really the best way to boil an egg, and we'll come back to you. I'm moving on to the quote of the day, and it is: obstacles can't stop you. Problems can't stop you. Most of all, other people can't stop you. Pidge, the only one who can stop you is yourself. That's
It's
it.
true and it's sad and
It
it's also
is.
very empowering.
It is. We have the power. Unfortunately, we do give the power to so many people, but it all comes back to us. We can't point the finger any longer. Obstacles can't stop us. Problems can't stop us. Most of all, other people can't stop us. The only person that can stop us is ourselves. So remember that.
Yeah.
Okay, so today's going to be fun because it's going to be an eclectic thing. Now that we've learned so much about boiling eggs.
Teaspoon of vinegar.
See?
Google search.
Yep.
How can I boil my eggs so they peel easily?
Well, that's
Yep.
a different
The
Google
answer.
search now,
Yep.
isn't it?
The
The
answer
answer.
is
Adding a teaspoon of vinegar to water may help egg whites from running out of an egg.
whatever. Yeah, it gets deep,
Anyway,
but
you
the
get it.
shells come off easier.
Sure.
You're
I don't
welcome.
know.
I'm a master in the kitchen. Everybody knows it.
Everybody.
Everybody
Especially when
knows
you
it.
make those from scratch
You know it.
cakes.
You know it. Did I ever tell that story about the? Yeah, I did. Oh man, that's a famous one. Okay, so today's going to be an eclectic thing. Kass did a poll on her Instagram of questions and topics that people want us to cover. We cannot cover them all today. There will be more to come, but we're going to cover a few.
That's
so,
right.
where are we starting with, Kass?
Okay, let's start with. How about this? How to deal with a negative coworker 8 hours a day.
Dun dun dun.
Mm-hmm.
Pidge is the only one who can rightfully answer this. I'm just kidding.
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Actually, I will say that this office as a whole, when we come into the pod box,
Mhm.
Wait, that was the question?
That's the question.
well, that's one of the questions that
Somebody asked.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And you're like, I don't know, my coworker is my sister and
I know.
she's super annoying. So I
mean,
have to live with her.
Seriously,
can't get
that's
away
one thing
from
I have
her.
on my side is I'm not negative, but I don't know any movie quotes, and I don't know any music references.
But
Period.
the
It's okay.
reason
We
why
won't
I
judge you
brought
for it.
Thank you.
the reason why I brought this one up is because
Yeah.
it kind of tied in with that quote.
Mm-hmm.
And oftentimes when we're very annoyed with somebody, when we're brought down by somebody, when we're irritated from somebody, it all comes down to you and your thoughts about that person, about that situation that's making you feel negative because nobody is forcing that on you. There's so many things in life that would quote unquote irritate me that wouldn't irritate somebody else or vice versa. Like you read something, it's like, oh, that's super triggering for one person, it's not for another person. So if you're in a situation where you're literally you're stuck with someone who's kind of a negative Nelly, what do you do about it so that you're in a space that other people aren't affecting your energy? And so it goes kind of like those non-negotiables, like setting your day up for success so that I'm in a good mindset, so that I'm taking care of me, so that other people's negativity can just be other people's negativity.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that came to my mind. It was like, we can't control other people's behaviors and how other people act, and if they're negative or positive or whatever. We can control what we do to remain positive. And so I think the more you're kind of like armoring yourself with positive things, the stronger you will be when you're facing those situations, the more they kind of roll off your back. And I just think we have to be really careful about like pulling in other people's energy.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to. You don't have to let it irritate you. Again, it always comes back to you.
Yep.
And so I would say that's the first thing that came to my mind, because we did no prep on this. It's very spontaneous, very spontaneous. But the first thing that came to my mind,
spontaneity.
that's right, is just where are you? Because if you find yourself constantly being irritated by a person or a situation, it usually comes back to you that you're not really in a good place to be able to handle it.
Ask yourself, why am I so irritated about this?
Mhm.
Most of the time when I am in one of those moods, it's because I have this like thing or list of things that I've been putting on the back burner that is kind of eating away at my happiness, where I'm like, I've got so many emails I'm ignoring. I've got things that I should be doing or could be doing or wish I would be doing. So everything kind of irritates me a little bit because I'm not taking care of me. Another thing is, if it's a situation where you can communicate with that person, making sure that you use I statements. Now, this is something that Emily and I were raised on, and we try and practice it. It's a work in progress. But when you are approaching somebody and it has the maybe it has the tendency to go in a negative way, using I statements to address the problem. This can work in every single relationship in your life. And taking ownership of how you feel and saying, hey, I just really wanted to sit down with you. I am somebody who's really affected by other people's energy. And I know that it doesn't seem like you're trying to be this way, but I'm really brought down when you speak about certain things. And I'm wondering if we can just sort of put in some boundaries so that we're both being respectful of each other's interests and so that you and I can actually have a great relationship. And not pointing the finger like, you know what, bro, you're so negative. You do this and this and this, and putting them on the
feeding
defense.
negative with negativity.
Yeah.
The other thing that just kind of came to my mind too is sometimes you maybe can't do much, right? And that is just, you've been dealing with this person for months or years or whatever, and it is what it is. But the other thing that kind of comes to my mind is sometimes people just are a little bit more defensive, a little bit more standoffish because they feel threatened by you for one reason or another. So maybe just doing your best to get to know them a little bit better, asking them questions about themselves to kind of break down some barriers of insecurities or whatever, so that you're a little bit more connected. And then at the end of the day, sometimes that softens the person, right?
Yep.
Because they feel like you care about who they are. But at the end of the day, sometimes there's just a situation, you've been in it over and over, you feel like you've tried everything, and there's not a whole lot that you can do. But I was thinking of your first, so you're going to work every day at 8 a.m. So what are you doing in the morning to set your tone, to set your energy and your mindset before you're faced with that? Because I think if you don't go in prepared, you're going to be blindsided. And I think that the resentment and it just piles up. But if you go in, it's like, I'm not going to be affected. I'm positive. I'm happy. This is my focus for the day.
I'm in charge of me.
What I can control.
Rather than, oh my gosh, I'm
better
dreading
equipped.
I don't want that person.
Oh yeah, if you're already thinking about, oh my gosh, this person's going to ruin my day. I can't stand when they do this. You've already fed yourself all this negative energy, and so it just piles up.
Okay. Does your younger daughter have the same father as the other two? I thought that was a funny question.
Yeah. They wondered if Beverly was fathered by Brian as well because of the gap.
No, wondering if Dane and Bridget were fathered by Brian.
Someone else. Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah, but just a different dad. The first two kids, because there's such a big gap.
They're all the same dad.
It's true.
That was done on purpose. It wasn't a surprise baby. She was planned. I remember when I told Emily, I'm like, I'm going to take my IUD out. Birth control, if you must know.
If you must know.
If you must know what that is, Paige. You've never heard of it.
Nope.
And she just looked at me and just kept on going, really?
I mean, it'd been a long time. It was quite a shock.
Really?
Like, you're really going to do it? Because, of course, I've heard her talk about it on and off for years. Like, maybe we'll adopt, maybe we'll do foster care, maybe this, but it's like, no, I'm taking this out and we're gonna try this. And it's like, wow.
I stopped her.
But there's probably cobwebs on it.
There
I
we
mean,
go.
seriously.
Rotten to the core.
I didn't know if anything worked anymore.
Yeah, it worked.
And Emily was the first person to know of that plan, and not a single other person knew about the plan until I told everybody that we were pregnant.
So cool.
It was the best surprise.
Oh my gosh, so
ever.
Fun. Yeah.
Okay, Emily, how about, do you feel tired? If not, what helps you have all your energy?
That's a good question. Of course, we have moments of tiredness. This is just to me, or this
No.
us in general? Yeah. Of course, we feel tired here or there, like most people, but we do prioritize our health. I personally hate feeling like I'm dragging.
For
Hate
sure.
feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm just so exhausted today. Because usually that is an effect of something I did the day previous, right? That I didn't get the sleep that I needed, that I wore myself out because I overdid this or that. So for me, I really, it's very important to me to feel energetic, to fuel my body with food that will give me energy, to get the sleep that I need so that I feel energetic. All of those things, drinking water all day long. I mean, these are just like things that I do every day because honestly, feeling like I have energy is a big deal for me. Big deal.
I also want to say that what you're thinking about is how you're going to feel. So I tried to be very intentional with this, especially when I was traveling and I would have major time changes. If I was just thinking nonstop, I'm so tired, I am so tired. Oh my gosh, I'm so tired. I could really use a nap.
And you can do this when you're going to bed the night before. I'm going to be so tired tomorrow.
Yeah.
You can already make it so,
What you, if you think it, that's exactly what you will create. So you might be sleep deprived. Yes. You might actually feel tired. Yes. But you can also channel your thoughts of I have so many things that I'm going to get done today. Today is going to be awesome. I am capable of getting everything done that I need to today. I'm going to make today great. As cheesy as that sounds, instantly, I actually feel lighter in my body. Because when you think things without your permission, your body is releasing hormones to make you feel the way you think. That's why that coworker is so freaking annoying, because every time you think about it, your body is releasing in a hormone that says, yep. Every time you're tired, you will get more tired the more you think about being tired. And the opposite is also true.
So, of course, they just go hand in hand. You have to prioritize your health and do the things that your body needs. But there's going to be times where your schedule gets disrupted. And maybe your kids, get the flu during the night and you're missing out on the sleep or whatever. So then that's when the mindset comes in. And it's like, if you tell yourself oh my gosh, this is what I went through. I'm going to be so tired. I'm going to be so tired. And that's what's running in your head. Well, that is what your reality will be. Exactly. So I think they go hand in hand. First priority is to fuel your body with food that makes you feel energetic and get the sleep that you need. And all those things that really, really matters.
Yep. I put food kind of in two categories, as some foods make me feel like a goal crusher and some foods make me feel like a nap taker.
Yep.
So also finding, especially on those days where you do feel tired, fueling yourself with the right type of foods that will help you create more energy.
Yeah, if days that you're going to be more tired, that's when you up your game, in the other things that can help kind of combat that.
I'm also not afraid of caffeine. Before I go work out, I'm going to have some caffeine. Okay, if the person across from you was an animal, what would she be? I feel like we should ask Pidge this question.
What's up?
What animal?
If the person across from you, that's both of us.
Yeah.
We're an animal.
Shoot.
Oh my gosh.
What would we be?
Right?
I'm going to say Emily is a lioness.
Ooh.
Part of it is because she kind of has the hair
But don't the women don't have the hair?
They don't.
They don't.
Just straight up lion.
Yeah. It just
I
goes
didn't
hand
wanna
in
call
hand.
you a lion.
Yeah.
Um,
Wanted to add a feminine touch.
but then also like the lionesses are the ones that like they like hunt and they like bring the family together and they like do all that stuff. So I mean, I feel like that's kind of your role, like
Really?
in your family. I feel like you kind of like are the glue in your family.
Oh, I love
She puts on that flannel and she goes out hunting.
I do. Everybody knows it.
Everybody knows it.
Good answer. I like it.
I don't know if it's right.
Hey,
Hey,
your
it's not
opinion.
wrong.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, Cass. The hair was just so easy for you to go with the
I
lion,
know.
right?
I pushed it off. I thought maybe we were gonna switch the subject.
You know me, I'm getting you right
Do you
back
have
on
something
track.
that comes to mind, but you're not? You're afraid.
Let's
Because you
see.
know animals more than we do.
Yeah.
I do know animals.
Yeah, you do.
I like animals.
What is she? That is such an interesting question.
Hmm.
You know? Whatever, like, kind of like a determined animal. See, you would know, so maybe we could work together here.
Okay.
Okay? So, a very determined animal, that just knows what it wants and it just cannot and will not stop till it gets it. That she's that. Okay?
Okay.
Also, one, can you get your finger down? It's very distracting. She's listing the things that we
Yeah.
are. Okay, so that's that. And then one that, I mean, I do think that you kind of look out for other animals around you, you know? Whether you need to protect yourself from the animals around you or you're going to bring them into the fold, so there's, she's got that kind of like
I've got my head on the
head
swivel.
of the swivel and will react accordingly, and then of course one that's just a little feisty.
Yeah.
I've got an animal in mind.
Do you of yourself?
Really?
Yeah.
What if
What
we're
is
the same
it?
one?
Probably not.
Let's do it. 3.
I'm gonna go second. I'm not gonna change mine.
You're
so you go.
scared.
Okay, for sure mine is very unattractive.
Okay.
You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
What's yours?
Tiger.
Ostrich.
Oh, I'm actually close.
Oh.
Yeah?
Okay. So I like to go turkey hunting.
Okay. Okay. Is she a gobbler?
No. She's a hen turkey.
Oh.
And so gobblers, they're just
Yeah. They're mindless.
They're fat. They're lazy.
Yeah.
All they're
No.
doing is just like look. They're strutting around trying to get some attention.
Okay.
The females are actually the ones that like kind of scope out the situation.
Uh-huh.
They have very good eyesight. Not a great sense of smell. I don't know if that applies or
That's
not.
that's good. That's good.
Oh, she can't breathe today at all, so that's
They're the
accurate.
ones- They're
Yeah.
the ones that give like a warning call when they're coming into their area to roost.
Oh,
And so
okay.
they make sure that like everything's safe and everything's good. Then they let everybody else
Like,
know.
here I come.
Hey, everything's good. You can show up.
Ah.
If it's not good, they have like a warning like cluck. That's like when you hear it in the woods, you're like,
Oh,
day's over.
boy.
and so I would do it, but I probably wouldn't do it good.
Yeah, you have it maybe?
I tried the gobbler. I thought it was
Yeah.
pretty good,
So
actually.
they like,
It
the,
was.
the hens do like a pecking sound.
Mhm.
So like when they're like kind of just like walking around, they're always just doing like,
Yeah.
and so like when they like have like a warning, they get like
What's my name? I'm the mother hen.
just like a hen turkey.
Okay, hen turkey.
But
Hen
they
turkey.
also gather like all of the little baby turkeys,
Mhm.
put them under their wings. And fun fact, not a lot of people know this, but turkeys roost in trees. So they like fly up into like big pine trees, and that's where they sleep at night.
This delights me.
You're kidding. I'm terrified. Oh.
The best is as an outdoorsman.
Yes.
When you get
In flannel.
you kind of know where like they roost because you kind of put them to bed. That's what they call it.
Oh.
So you kind of like know where the turkeys are, and you kind of get them to gobble, you get them to make their noise, and so they go and they like roost in a tree, and so you're like, okay, I don't know what tree, but I know it's those trees.
Yeah.
So then you wake up at like 3 a.m.
Oh my gosh.
and you get to the tree before they wake up, and so now you're sitting
Sneak attack.
underneath this like grove of trees where like all these turkeys are roosting, and when
Like
they,
all like 3, 5, 20.
20 plus
Ooh.
hens,
Freaky, man.
gobblers, like most of them it's in the spring so they don't have their babies yet.
Emily will never look at a pine tree the
Oh,
same way.
It's
man.
the best.
Oh.
So as like the morning wakes up, right? So like the things start making noise. It's dead silent up until then. So you're just sitting there freezing your butt off. Your butt's going numb because you're just like leaning up against a tree and you're just hoping you're in the right spot. And then like the gobblers start gobbling from the trees, and then the hens fall down, or fall not fall down,
Swoop.
they just glide down gracefully.
Very, very graceful.
So
Yes,
gracefully.
yeah.
And then they kind of fumble when they hit the ground. Just normal.
Quick
Normal
roll.
Kass
Normal
moves.
Kass
Yeah.
roll.
And then they kind of scope it out. And 2 springs ago, I took some friends to like do this for their first time, and it was just like face to face with these like hen turkeys, and it was like the coolest morning ever. None of the gobblers came our way, so we like didn't get anything, but it was just like there's like 30 hens.
So the only ones you want are the gobblers?
Well, yeah, the mommies are making babies in the spring. You don't want to take them away from that. You want more turkeys next year.
Okay, I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
Powerful
All right.
pitch. That was
I feel like
powerful.
I think I might like that better than the ostrich. I feel like the ostrich is kind of, fun to be around, you think.
The ostrich gets
And
I
that
feel
is
like they're a
kind
little
of-
wild.
gets embarrassed and puts its head in the sand. You know.
Oh, I
Does it
definitely am not
really?
like that.
You get embarrassed and you just like take it.
You're like, hey, listen.
What
this
is
how-
pidge?
A pigeon.
Oh, duh.
A carrier pigeon. I deliver the good news.
Yeah,
Yes,
you do. I mean, I'm sorry, but that was inspired.
It was so inspired.
You're welcome.
It was an accidental
Inspiration.
It was an accidental perfection. I love it.
So here is a question. Now, you are a man who understands animals, especially birds, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Do we eat hens and roosters?
Whoa. Are we talking?
When I go to order a
Chickens?
chicken,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
it's male and female.
Yeah, because the types of chickens we're eating are different than like your egg-laying chickens. You're eating like a chicken that was like bred to be like a chicken that you
Eat.
yeah. it's all
And it
plugged
doesn't
up.
matter if they're male or female. All right. Because, we went to Hawaii, an amazing experience. And on
Mhm.
Maui, they have chickens everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And the beautiful, colorful ones, of course, they're the males. I don't really understand that thing.
That's
But
always
Do you want to understand it?
not today.
because they have to, they're peacocking, and they have to be impressive
Yeah.
to win the women over.
It's more of a distraction for. So a lot of the times.
To protect the women?
Yeah. So like with a male turkey, right? Like they live up in the trees. They sleep up in the trees, protection from coyotes and stuff. When they nest on the ground, and so like male turkeys, big red heads, big like more color, like
Yeah.
coat, like in their chest.
I wore my coat.
That's when I can know.
Anyway,
and I
That's
do
right.
know.
Yep.
So they, so yeah, so I mean, it's more obviously to attract mates, but it would attract mates either way. But it's
It's
more
to
of a
protect the
a
ladies.
distraction during.
All right.
I
well,
really love
we're
that.
happy about that.
Thank
in
you for
God's
clearing that up.
creation.
Yeah.
You cleared up a lot of questions,
Oh,
all in one fell swoop.
Mhm.
All right. Are you ready for another question?
Oh yeah.
Okay. And this could be maybe our last one.
Okay.
What do
Cool.
you think?
We're at 58 minutes, so
Mhm.
it probably
Okay.
should be.
Perfect.
Okay,
Probably should
so I think this is very important. This will be something that we come back to. So I want
Mhm.
you guys to submit questions. I think this is a very entertaining,
be. Mm-hmm.
not that we're the experts, we're the anti-expert.
No, we're just
But-
sharing what we've come across.
But what we are is your what?
Source
Friend.
and friend.
Yep, your friendly source of goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. How to navigate the marriage transition from newlyweds to having young kids. I'm feeling like our marriage has been put on the sidelines to help kids figure life out.
Mm.
This is really, I think, a powerful question, such a relatable question, something that is really one of those unprepared
Oh yeah, you never know
Parts
until you're
of
in it.
marriage
Mhm.
and of life. And a recent bit of advice I thought was really cool because, of course, we're talking about like taking care of you. For me, what's been great in our marriage is to encourage and respect each other's hobbies
Mm-hmm.
and interests because it's hard when you're coming together as a marriage, as a unit. You kind of feel like everything should be done together.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that is really kind of doling the things that you fell in love with that person about. I love that Brian is a man of many interests.
Mm-hmm.
And if I were always wanting me to be a part of it, most of those interests actually wouldn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have all the same interests as him. So as you're having young kids and you're both being like hands on, putting fires out, trying to like organize this chaos, remembering that each of you need to be who you are individually,
Mm-hmm.
and then also spending time connecting as you were when you were dating, scheduling dates, going out to dinner, going on walks, even like they don't have to require money or a lot of time, but the person that you fell in love with, and this was a piece of advice that I got more recently, was it's a girl who was a friend of ours, and she was at the gym, and we kind of jumped in late in the conversation. It felt like, and she was saying how, people are always asking her husband, like, "Oh, how do you feel about your wife doing this or that?" Or "How do you feel about your husband doing this or that?" And she said, "No, we very much encourage each other to like fuel your own tank."
Mm-hmm.
And he fell in love with me long before he fell in love with me as a mom.
Mm-hmm.
And remembering that, like, you don't be more intentional about not only talking about the kids
Mm-hmm.
and not only asking them to be task masters as well. Like, don't always give them a honey to-do list. Like, actually connect with them. How was your day? What was the most exciting thing? As if you were dating, and you're not just talking about, oh, well, you got to do this and you got to go
Yeah.
here and you got to plan this and make this.
And
What would
that's
you
something,
say?
yeah, well, that's what's coming to my mind is it's very typical, right? Well, make sure you make time for a date night, once a week date night. And that's great and everything. But motherhood can be very like, it can make you feel lonely and isolating, especially if the husband leaves every single day, 7:30, and you don't see him until 7 o'clock at night. And there's all this mothering and all this stuff with the kids happening all day long. That you really, the communication between the two of you, you can just really be divided there. And it's like, I do all the mom things and you go to work and then you come home and then we basically put the kids down.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe you might find yourself where it's like you're going and watching your show and your husband's going and finishing up work on the computer or something. And I just think, yes, finding time to go on a date and all of that is awesome. But I think just your day to day is the communication that you have and sharing with your husband. Just because he's not there in the home and doing all the mom things, he very much should be a part of all the decisions that you're making and all the things that happen during the day. And that is kind of up to you to continually involve him and have
Totally.
those conversations, and whether they're funny things or frustrating things or whatever. So you're always kind of just working through that, and then always finding humor, fun things to do, whether you watch. I just feel like that for us has been a huge thing, always laughing in our home and watching funny things or talking about funny stories and keeping things not just the heavy weight of the world every day, day in and day out in your home, but finding reasons to laugh and making opportunities to laugh and be more lighthearted in your relationship too,
Yep.
I think is a big deal.
Not sweating the small stuff. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Dad used to always say, don't sweat the small stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all small stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I think one of the things that is a very natural thing for moms to do is feel underappreciated.
Mm-hmm.
And so they kind of remind the husbands, like, I do this and I do this and I did this and I did this. And it's
Mm-hmm.
rather than taking that energy and connecting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're both doing so much.
Yeah.
And if rather than trying to keep score, if you just take that energy and that time
Mm-hmm.
and actually say, like, hey, that's where you do find the funny things. Oh my gosh, come look at this.
Mm-hmm.
Come, like, let's go.
Just
Like,
keeping them involved in all the little things that you're doing,
yep.
because you can, I can just picture it perfectly. I mean, you can very much isolate yourself. And Pidge, I know that his kids go to bed at 7:30 every night, right? And then you and your wife like will
Pretty
sit
much.
down and watch a show. or something, and you try to put work like on the back burner, right?
Try.
And I think, and you can't always do this, but I like that that's a priority for you to
Very
do
proper.
every evening, right? And that helps you kind of relax, refuel, and connect with your wife. You find that
Yes.
effective, sir?
I do. We before it got cold, we would do like a nightly walk.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We've got this like route that we do that's like almost exactly 2 miles, but it doesn't feel like 2 miles.
Mm-hmm.
It's like perfect.
I love that.
And so that was like a good. I mean, then it got cold, so we kind of got
Yeah.
out of the habit.
But
But
now,
now, that it's warm
Yeah, time to
uh-huh.
bring
we're
it back.
I think we're back.
Mhm.
I'm telling you, last night we went on a walk. So this is what I mean by like dating.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to, I mean, I think that people maybe they misunderstanding how easy it can be to like spend time with them and connect with them.
Mm-hmm.
And walks are perfect. Like last night, Brian and I went on a walk with Bev, and I told him, I said, if every night we could do this, I'll be the happiest woman on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's so good to just talk with them rather than just like always talking to with them about kid stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but talking to them about like
Them too,
them.
their things, what they did.
Totally.
To circle back to what you said initially, is I also think that if, as a mom, I think a lot of times the problem is they really are losing themselves because they are not doing any of the things they were passionate about before. It is now all motherhood, which then adds some extra tension in their relationship with their spouse because they're just so overwhelmed and tired and exhausted and all of that.
Oh, it's like, oh, you went to lunch? You had
Yeah.
a lunch break? Oh, that's weird. I have poop on my shirt.
Yeah. So there's resentment that builds.
Yeah.
So I think it kind of going back to that is just if a young mom learns early to prioritize herself and
Yeah.
always give herself permission to have the little outings, whether it's a weekly lunch with her friends, it's a daily time for exercise or
Yep.
movement, and there's no guilt in that whatsoever. And remembering the things they used to love, whatever that might be, prioritizing that, then they are going to be less resentful, less exhausted, less irritated with their role of mom because they're filling their cup.
Yep.
And I think that's like probably one of the number one things.
For sure.
To do.
I watched this video. It was on Oprah Soul Sunday or something, and she was talking about the woman she was interviewing was talking about how her cup runneth over.
Mm-hmm.
Anything extra that's running over, that's for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give that
Oh,
to
I know.
everybody
I love
else.
that. Yeah.
But my cup stays full.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we have this image of like, I'm pouring from my cup and now my cup is half empty. And I'm pouring from my cup and now my cup is empty.
Mm-hmm.
How do I fill it back up? But those daily things, keep your cup, your love bucket, whatever the image is, your emotional bank account,
Mm-hmm.
it keeps that full.
Mm-hmm.
And then as you connect with friends and then as you do these other things, your cup runneth over, and then you're able to then take all that positive energy that you've created, that you have prioritized,
Mm-hmm.
and you can give that to your people in your life that matter the most.
Yeah.
But losing yourself in all of it is going to do nobody no favors.
Nope.
Not one buddy a favor.
Nope.
Paige, can I get an amen?
Mm-hmm.
We were going to do a funny, we were going to share embarrassing moments today, but we're going to have to say that for next time, huh?
I think it could be next time.
Mm-hmm.
What is my most embarrassing moment?
Oh,
I'm
I
gonna
know
have to
mine.
dig. Oh, you know.
I know mine.
And we've been talking about getting to that.
It's bad.
In your butt.
Oh, no.
No, that wasn't embarrassing. Are you kidding me?
She
I
covered that
rocked
so
that
well.
and shocked a room of women. Now I've just paid the price for months after. Okay, I've got a little bit of awesome I'm going to share.
All right.
Okay, what are you searching for? Something else?
Yep. I have another little bits of awesome.
Okay, so this is someone that wrote in, and the reason why we share this from listeners is not because it's like patting ourselves on the back, like, oh, you guys are doing such an awesome job. The reason why we share these things that listeners share with us is because it means that the things that we've gathered that do not originate from us most of the time are things that we feel like are little gems that can help you live a happier and healthier life. Knowing that listeners are taking these little gems and sharing them with other people just means that we're spreading goodness. And it's not because of us, but it's because of you that are listening and applying it, which I think is awesome. Okay, so this is actually an old student of ours, Kass, who says that she used to go to our classes years ago. She moved away. She's been wanting to message us for quite some time. And so she said that she just listened to episode 32. And, okay, I'm fast forwarding here a little bit. Boom, boom, boom. So she said she hasn't been able to come to our classes and she kind of misses that joy and that fun and that energy. So it's been fun to listen to the podcast because she feels like she's kind of back in the class a little bit again.
Yeah.
So, skipping forward again. Okay, so I started listening to your podcast on my drive to work every single day. It's been such an amazing and positive thing for me during a little tornado my life has been lately. I have shared so many little gems with my family and my best friend when I know that they would benefit from them. It has helped me be so much more positive and happy throughout my day. I really feed off of other people's energy, and even though I can't be there in person to feel your energy in class, I truly appreciate you guys starting this podcast so that I can enjoy it from almost 300 miles away.
I love that.
I thought that was awesome.
Okay, and mine quickly is another write-in. Her little bit of awesome. Tonight was date night. I used limiting beliefs as a topic of dinner. It was awesome to dive into that with my husband and for us to debunk each other's. Also, last week I met a woman at a jump house. We sat next to each other as our kids played. She started to talk about school and her goals and that she felt she couldn't do it yet. I recommended your podcast. She needs to see humans can do anything. I mean, are you serious?
It's incredible.
That's
and
awesome.
That
and
is
limiting
so
beliefs was the
awesome.
last
episode.
Was that 32? The last one?
Mhm.
So if you want to learn more about limiting beliefs, go tune into
It just-
episode 32. I love that so much on many, many levels. I love that
Me
she's
too.
sharing it with other people. I love that she's taking that and was able to think about her limiting beliefs, but then also put out her husband's, and
Totally.
be
It's
able
like
to
they're
build
deep-
each other up. It's awesome.
And this episode is brought to you by Hella Nutrition. We, of course, use Hella Nutrition every day.
Mhm.
Cheers. We got
Cheers.
Peach Party BCAAs in our drinks today. But also, I started this morning with Hella Good Morning, which is an amazing drink to start your day off. It's warm, it's cozy, it's
Creamy
got
chocolate.
focus
hot chocolate.
factor.
Mm-hmm.
It's got some
Yeah.
collagen. It's got some protein. It's got energy. It's amazing. Check out Hella Nutrition and also use code AWESOME to save on your purchase.
Oh, yeah. I love
Bye
it.
now.
Bye.